So we are starting with the second lecture on circle equation, past paper questions. Let's look at this question. The question says the point A has coordinates 1, 5 and line L has this gradient and it passes through A. So let me underline the major things. There is a point A, the coordinates are 1, 5, the line L has this gradient and this line passes through A, and then later on it says a circle. So there is a circle, let me just highlight the circle. Then it says a circle has center 511 and radius root 52. The first thing, show that L is a tangent to this circle at A. Now the very first thing is that we have A, which is 1, 5. Gradient of line L, that is negative 2/3. And the center, let's call it C, that is 5, 11. And the radius, that is root 52. So now if I focus on the first part, that is part A. So if I calculate, if I draw a diagram, I think it's a good idea to draw a diagram. So that's a circle and that is the tangent to the circle. This is just a rough diagram. This is point C and this is point A. And if I draw a perpendicular, the radius is perpendicular to tangent at the point of contact. So let me calculate the gradient of AC. That is 5 minus 11 over 1 minus 5. That is negative 6 at the top, negative 4 at the bottom. That comes out to be positive 3 over 2. And this is the line L. So this is line L. The gradient of line L is this much, negative 2/3. That means gradient of AC into gradient of line L, that is positive 3 over 2 into negative 2/3. It multiplies to gives you negative 1. That means we have proven the fact that AC is perpendicular to line L. That means, yes, it's a tangent to the circle at A. Is this concept all good, all clear? So just a small diagram does the job. Let's move to the next part. Now it says, part B, find the equation of the other circle of the same radius for which line L is also a tangent at A. Now that's a good question. This is the circle I have drawn using a green line. This is a tangent that's going like this. And let me just shift it a bit. And then there is another circle. Let me just copy this thing. And let me paste it over here. And let me change the color so that it looks different. So let me choose a purple color. Now these two circles, they have the same tangent. So they are touching like this. And this line over here, that is a tangent to both of them. Now this is point C, that is the center. The coordinate of C is 511. Somewhere here is A, where the circles are meeting. What is A? A is 1, 5. And let me label this point as Q. The coordinate of Q is unknown, question mark, question mark. Now the rule is that if this is a tangent, that means the distance from A to C should be the same thing as from A to Q. So these two distances should be equal. So CA should equal AQ and they are lying on the same line. And therefore A is the midpoint of CQ. So now let's take the x coordinate and let me write x comma y over here. So for Q, Let me write this thing as x comma y, and we have this thing x, and this is 5. So 5 plus x, the average, equals to 1. And let me just shift this thing up also like this. And then let's talk about the y coordinate, and that is over here. This is 11, this is y, this is 5. So 11 plus y divided by 2 equals to 5. Now let's solve it out. 5 plus x is equals to 2, therefore x is negative 3. 11 plus y equals to 10, y equals to negative 1. That means the center of the new circle is negative 3, negative 1. The radius is still the same, which is root 52 units. Therefore, the standard form of the equation of a circle is x minus h whole square, y minus k whole square is equals to r square. Is this all got all clear? With translation, the radius does not change, and it also says so. So this is x plus 3 whole square. This is y plus 1 whole square is 52. The square root disappears after the squaring, and that is what the answer looks like. So let's go ahead and double check this thing. The first one was pretty obvious. The second one is over here. X plus 3 whole square, y plus 1 whole square is equals to 52. So that's how this question is done. It's done on 2 pages. Let's move to the next question. Now this question, I think I'll go over in 3 pages. The first, the second, the third, and if there is need, I'll move over to the 4th page also. Now let's get started with this. I'll give you some time. Why don't you go ahead first and just have a good look at it. Also look at the number of marks that is assigned. 2, 2, 1, 5, 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 marks out of 75. That's a lot and lot of marks. So you have to think very, very carefully. Now the question says, it says the point A, B and C lie on the circumference of the circle with center D. First part, show that angle is 90 degrees. Angle ABC is 90 degrees. The second part, hence state the coordinates of D. Third part, find the equation of the circle. Now let me link the first 2 parts together, and naturally the third is also linked. So let's get started with this. A diagram as such is not necessary. So let me write the first one, which is negative 2, 3. B is 3, 0. And if we are talking about the angle ABC is 90 degrees, so let me again write B, which is 3, 0. Let me write C, which is 6, 5. Let me calculate the gradient of AB, which is 3 minus 0 over negative 2, negative 3. I'll just explain you in a while why I am calculating this particular gradient. So this is 3, this is negative 5. Let me calculate the gradient of BC, which is 0 minus 5, 3 minus 6, which comes out to be negative 5, and this is negative 3, which comes out to be positive 5 over 3. Now the rule is, if the angle ABC is 90 degree, that means angle B is 90 degrees. That means that AB is perpendicular to BC. That is what I'm trying to prove. So that is why I calculated gradient of AB. I calculated gradient of BC. And let me multiply it out. Gradient of AB into gradient of BC. That is 3 over 5 with a negative sign into 5 over 3 with a positive sign. Yes, it does give you minus 1. Therefore, I have proven that angle B is 90 degrees. All good? All clear? So the first part is done for 2 marks. Now, someone can also use Pythagoras theorem. They can find the length of all the 3 sides, and then they can say that yes, it follows Pythagoras theorem, and that is how this thing is there. So I'll also do that right now. So let me first write this as part A, and let me write part B, not part B, actually part A, alternative method, and this is application of Pythagoras theorem. Now let me calculate AB. So A and B, it's right over here. Let me just copy this and let me just write it like this. And there should be AC also. So this is A and this is C. A is negative 2 comma 3, C is 6 comma 5, and let me add a blank page over here for the spot. So now AB magnitude, that is minus 2 minus 3 whole square. This is 3 minus 0 whole square, square root. This is 25, this is 9, that is square root of 34. Leave it as it is. There is no use of calculator. Magnitude of BC, that is 3 minus 6 whole square. This is 0 minus 5 whole square, square root. This is 9. This is 25. Again, it's the same thing, that is square root of 34. And AC, that is minus 2 minus 6 whole square. And this is 3 minus 5 whole square, square root. That is 8 square is 64 and 2 square is 4, square root. That comes out to be root 68. So basically, AC is the biggest length. Therefore, AC is the hypotenuse. So therefore, AC square, if it equals to AB square plus BC square, then we would say, yes, it's a right angle triangle. Root 68, root 34, root 34, and then square it, square it, square it. So 68 is 34 plus 34. Yes, it fulfills Pythagoras theorem. Therefore, AC is in fact the hypotenuse, and angle opposite to hypotenuse. Since A and C are two lengths, this angle B is 90 degrees. So I have proven my point. Is this thing clear? I have explained this thing in two different ways. The first way was based upon the concept of slope. The second way, that is based upon, let me just shrink it down and let me write it over here. And let me just copy this thing. So now the second thing is based upon the concept of Pythagoras theorem. So now the first thing is done, first part is done. So now I'm moving to the next part. That is, hence state the coordinates of D, which is the center of the circle. Find the equation. So now over here, we are interested in this, we are interested in this. So now we were needing the length anyway. So AC is root 68. So first of all, part B and C combined, AC is the hypotenuse, this is the diameter. So the length of the diameter is root 68 units. Now let me draw a diagram to illustrate this idea. Instead of this thing, let me draw a green one. So now over here, I'm not drawing it realistic, I'm just drawing it like that. And let me choose 3 lines like this. This is one, this is the next one, and this is the third one. Okay. So now this is just a rough diagram. So this is A, this is C, this is B, this is 90. The property is semicircle, diameter produces 90-degree angle at circumference. So therefore, this AC is the diameter and the midpoint of AC would be D. So what is A? Minus 2, 3. A is negative 2, 3. What is C? C is 6, 5. Therefore, the midpoint will be the center of circle. So therefore, a D is minus 2 plus 6 divided by 2, 3 plus 5 divided by 2. That's 4 over 2, which is 2. 8 over 2 is 4. That's the center of the circle. The radius is half the diameter. That is half of root 68. Okay. So now what I can do is that I'll write x minus h, x minus 2 whole square, y minus 4 whole square, that is half root 68, that is the radius, the whole thing square. So 68 divided by 2, that is 34, divided by 2, that is 17, x minus 2 whole square, y minus 4 whole square is equals to square root of this is 17. Actually, the square root is there. And after squaring, let me just check one thing. So basically, this is 1/4 of 68. After squaring, this is 1/4 of 68. So this is 17. So we will write 17 over here. Let me double check the answer. That is the answer for part C. That is the answer for part B. All good, all clear. Now, someone can also do this. Let me just write it alternative. Alternatively, I can write that AD, that is the radius, and it's also equals to DC. So if you want, I could have calculated it this way also. So now this thing is done. This is part C. This is part C. This one technically is part B. So now this is done. All good, all clear. Let's move to the last part. Again, have a look at the last part. Okay, now the last part says the point E lies on the circumference of the circle such that BE is the diameter. So if BE is the diameter, that means it should be somewhere over here. It has to pass through the center, and that should be E. In other words, D is the midpoint. I think that's it. So, but it's asking equation of the tangent to the circle at E. So first thing first, find coordinates of E. So let me just draw a rough diagram. It's like this. And the scenario was like this. Again, a rough diagram like this. Somewhere here, that is the diameter. This one is one of the length. This is the other length. And by the way, this triangle was a right angle isosceles triangle because the two lengths were equal. So now this is A. This is C, I think. This one is B. This one is D. And somewhere over here, if I draw a line like this, and this one would be E. So E is x comma y. B is given over here 3 0. D is what we found 2 comma 4. In other words, the average of x and 3 should be 2. So x plus 3 divided by 2 equals to 2. X plus 3 is equals to 6. X comes out to be 3. Similarly, the average of y and 0 because of the concept of midpoint. So y plus 0 divided by 2 equals to 8. Therefore, y comes out to be 8. Therefore, the coordinate of E is 3 comma 8. Let's double check. So the coordinate of E is 3. They have not given us E like this. This is OE18. I think maybe I made a mistake or something. This is positive 2 or negative 2? 6. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. 4 over 2 is 2. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And this equation was all good. x minus 2, y minus 4, that is perfect. What else was there? So now I need to find the equation. We will check with the last thing. And over here, this is x plus 3 divided by 2. 2 into 2 is 4. It's not 6, it's 4. That's my mistake. So this is 4 right over here. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is 1 comma 8, a small silly mistake. So that is 1 over here. So 1 comma 8, that is E. All good? Now it's asking for equation of tangent to the circle. So gradient of BDE is the same. So let me just calculate the gradient of E, which is 1, 8, and D, which is 2, 4. So gradient of ED, that is 8 minus 4 over 1 minus 2. 8 minus 4 is 4, 1 minus 2 is negative 1, that is negative 4. Therefore, gradient of tangent should be positive 1/4. And the tangent is at point E. E is 1 comma 8. Therefore, the equation should be y minus y1 is equals to 1/4 x minus x1. No particular format is asked, so I'll leave the answer as it is. Y minus 8 is 1/4 x minus 1. So it's all good, all clear. So now this question number 17, I'll just pause the recording so that you people can try this particular question out. Now in question 17, the question says the equation of a circle is this thing. The points A and B lie on the circle. Find the values of A and B and hence find the coordinates of the center of the circle. First thing first, that is simultaneous equation. So we have A, which is 1 comma 1. We have B, which is 2 comma negative 6. Plug it in this equation, x square, which is 1 square, y square, which is 1 square, plus A into 1, B into 1, minus 12 equals to 0. Therefore, A plus B, that is 2 minus 12, negative 10, positive 10. That is equation 1. Equation 2, this is 2 and negative 6. So x square is 4. Negative 6 square is 36. A into 2, that's 2a. By is negative 6y minus 12 equals to 0. 4 plus 36 is 40. And 40 minus 12 is 28. So 2a minus 6y is equals to negative 28. And a minus 3y is equals to negative 14. This is equation number 2. Let me just check the working. A plus b is 10. A minus y is negative 14. So a plus b is 10. 2a minus b is negative 28. We solve it simultaneously. I'm not going to waste time over it. A is 4 and b is 6. So therefore, this is a is 4, b is 6. This is after solving simultaneous equations. We get A and we get B. Now it says, find the coordinates of the center of the circle. So there is the normal approach, that is we have x square, we have y square, ax is 4x, and this is y square, and by is 6y. This equals to positive 12 if it's taken on the other side. So now x square, 4x, bracket square, minus bracket square, and this is y square, 6y, bracket square, minus bracket square is equals to 12. That's a completing square method. So this is 2 and 2, and this is 3 and 3. And therefore, I can write these 3 terms as a perfect square, these 3 terms as a perfect square, x plus 2 whole square, and this is 12 plus 4 plus 9. So this 4 and 9 taken to the other side, and this is y plus 3 whole square is equals to this. So this is x plus 2 whole square, and this is y plus 3 whole square is 25. Compare with x minus h whole square. y minus k whole square is r square. Therefore, the center is -2, -3, and the radius is 5 units. That is how you get this thing. Now let's move to the next part. Now it says find the equation of tangent to the circle at point A. So first of all, the center is, let me call this thing as C, if there is nothing else is labeled as C. Yes. So C is -2, -3. And we are interested in tangent to the circle at A. Tangent at A, and what is A? That is 1, 1. So it's a good idea that you draw a diagram. So I've drawn a diagram, and this is -2, -3, and this is 1, 1. So this is -2, -3, and this is 1, 1. And the tangent is somewhat like this. Just a rough diagram, like this. Okay, so this is A, this is 1, 1. Find the gradient of CA, 3 minus 1, -3 minus 1 over -2 minus 1. -4, -3, positive 4/3. Gradient of tangent is -3/4. Coordinates of A is 1, 1. Equation of tangent y minus 1 is equals to -3/4 x minus 1. They have defined a particular format. Which format is that? Px qy equals to k. So let's cross multiply. 4y minus 4, -3x positive 3. 4y plus 3x is equals to 7. 3x plus 4y equals to 7. Px plus qy is equals to k. Px plus qy equals to k. Yes, it's in that format. And if they were to ask us separately, we can write it. P is 3, q is 4, k is 7. So there it is. 3x, 4y, 7. That is perfectly done. We are not interested in the alternative method. Okay, now let's look at this question, have a quick look, and then I'll solve it out. So now circles are good. Calculator hardly used in this one. Maybe sometimes you get a big number, big quadratic equation in which quadratic formula is needed, but as such you don't need to. Now, what is this question all about? The diagram shows a circle with equations such and such. So the circle equation is given over here. That's right over here. And then it meets with center C, that is the center. The point B has coordinates 0, 2. So B has coordinates 0, 2. The line segment BC intersects the circle at P. So let me draw this line segment. That's like this. It intersects the circle at P. Find the equation of BC. That is easy. Let's start with the first part. X minus h whole square, y minus k whole square is r square. Therefore, the center of the circle has coordinates 2, -4. And B has coordinates 0, 2. So gradient of BC, that is 2 minus 4 divided by 0 minus 2, which is 6 over -2, which comes out to be -3. Y-intercept is how much? Y-intercept is 2. Y-intercept is 2. Y is equals to mx plus c. Y equals to -3x plus 2. That is the equation of this line. So the first part is done. This is the working for part A. Find the coordinates of P. Give your answer in the exact form. Now it's simultaneous equation. So now we have to solve it simultaneously. Y is equals to -3x plus 2. So y is equals to -3x plus 2. That's the equation of BC. This is the equation of circle. So if I plug in y over here, y will go over here. Let me just simplify this much. Y plus 4 whole square, that is minus 3x plus 2 plus 4 whole square. That is negative 3x plus 6 whole square. This is 9x square, and this is negative 36x plus 36. So that is the expanded form. And let me also expand this thing, which is x minus 2 whole square. This is y, not, no, now it's completely in terms of x. So now this is x minus 2 whole square, x minus 2 whole square, which is x square minus 4x plus 4. And if I gather the terms, so this and this will add up. So now this is 10x square, and minus 36x minus 4x, that is minus 40x, and 36 plus 4 is 40. This equals to 20. 10x square minus 40x plus 20 equals to 0. X square minus 4x plus 2 equals to 0. Is that the equation? Let me double check. X square minus 4x plus 2 equals to 0. All good, all clear. So I hope you realize that I solved this one separately over here. This over here, I inserted this, then simplified, and then solved, and then I simply added it. So now it's not necessary that you do everything, you dump everything in one place. You can just do it on the sidelines also. So now I can write A is 1, B is negative 4, C is 2. Let me evaluate b square minus 4ac, which is minus 4 whole square minus 4 into 1 into 2. This is 16, this is 8, that is 8. And let me just add a page over here. So therefore x is equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac, the whole thing over 2a. So therefore this is minus 4 plus minus square root of 8 divided by 2 times a. Value of a is 1. Now root 8 can be written as 4 into 2. That's root 4 root 2, which is 2 root 2. So this is 4 plus minus 2 root 2 divided by 2. And this is 2 plus minus root 2. Therefore, what are the roots of the equation? What are the coordinates of P? They are asking the x and the y coordinates. Right now we are calculating the x coordinate. So x is 2 minus root 2. X is 2 plus root 2. They are asking us for the coordinates of P. Now there are two options. First of all, let me just extend this line. So this line over here, it's going to go like this, like this, like this, and all the way up till here. So this is definitely P. So P, the x coordinate is positive, the y coordinate is also positive. And let's say this is the other point of intersection Q. The x coordinate is negative, the y coordinate is negative. Okay, keep that in mind. So there are two possible x coordinate. This is positive, this is also positive. Find the coordinates of P. Give your answer in this form. X is positive, y is positive. Now over here, Q, x is still positive because x is this one. That is this. So x is positive, but this one is smaller and this x is bigger. So x coordinate of P is smaller than x coordinate of Q. Therefore, this is for P, this is for the other one Q. I'm simply interested in P. Now I need the y coordinate. Y is negative 3x plus 2. Y is equals to negative 3x plus 2. That is negative 3, 2 minus root 2 plus 2. That is negative 6, positive 3 root 2 plus 2. That is 3 root 2 minus 4. That's the y coordinate. So therefore the final answer, the coordinates of P, 2 minus root 2 and 3 root 2 minus 4. Let me double check. 2 minus root 2, 3 root 2 minus 4. That's a perfect answer. You should write the answer as a coordinate. So now this thing is done. Another question for you, and let's see how many more questions are left. So I think 1 or 2 more questions, we can try it out. Just have a good look and then I'll continue with this. Now it says points A and B have coordinates such and such. So one of them is A, the other one of them is B. So this is A, this is B. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. That is simple. So part A, we have A 5, 2. We have B 10, negative 1. Let's calculate the midpoint. 5 plus 10 divided by 2, 2 plus negative 1 divided by 2. So M comes out to be 15 over 2. And this is half. And the gradient of AB, that is 2 minus 1 divided by 5 minus 10. That is 3, that is 5 with a negative sign. Therefore, gradient of perpendicular should be positive 5 over 3. Point M is 15 over 2 comma half. Equation y minus half is equals to 5 over 3x minus 15 over 2. Are they asking in any particular form? No. So let me double check. This is y minus half. This is x minus 15 over 2. This is 5 over 3. Yes, it's exactly the same thing. So now this thing is done. Next one, find the equation of the circle with center A and which passes through B. So let me draw a diagram. The center is A. So over here it's A. And it passes through B. So let's see, this is 5, 2 and this is 10 minus 1. So AB should be the radius. The magnitude of AB should be the radius. So this is 5, 2. This is 10, negative 1. AB magnitude. 5 minus 10, which is negative 5 whole square. 2 minus 1 is 3 whole square. Under root 25 plus 9 square root of 34. That is the radius. And the center of the circle is 5, 2. So x minus 5 whole square, y minus 2 whole square is equals to root 34 square, which will become 34. And I think that was a pretty basic question. That it is. Okay. Now let's read this question. Have a good look at it. I'm just pausing a bit so that you can perfectly read it. Okay, let's get started. The coordinates of point ABC are such and such, given that AC and BC are equal in length. So let me get started with the first one. I have A, which is 5 and negative 2. I have C, which is 2p comma p. And this is a mix of coordinate geometry as well as circle, straight line as well as circle equation. And then we have B, which is 10 comma 3. We have C, which is 2p comma p. Let me just separate this out separately over here. Let me evaluate AC, which is 5 minus 2p whole square. And this is minus 2 minus p whole square, square root. BC, that is 10 minus 2p whole square, and this is 3 minus p whole square, square root. The two lengths are equal. Find the value of this fraction. 5 minus 2p whole square. This is negative 1, 2 minus p, 2 plus p, the whole thing square. This is 10 minus 2p whole thing square, 3 minus p whole thing square. The square root disappears, square both sides. Square root disappears. Now work it out. This is 25 minus 20p plus 4p square. That's the first bracket. Second bracket, this minus 1 squared becomes positive. and this is 4 plus 4p plus p square. This is 100 minus 40p plus 4p square. That's the third bracket. And this is 9 minus 6p plus p square. That's the fourth bracket. So now let me grab 4p square, some other color marker. This is 4p square, this is p square, this is 4p square, this is p square. It cancels out. There is a plus sign, yes, it does cancel out. That is the perfect thing that could happen. And then we have 25, we have 5. So this is 29. Minus 20p plus 4p, that is negative 16p. On the right hand side, we have 100, we have 9, this is 109. And then we have negative 40p, negative 6p, negative 46p. So now let me move the negative 46 to the other side, negative 46p, negative 16p, this becomes positive. This is 109 minus 29. That comes out to be 80. This comes out to be 30p. Therefore, p comes out to be 8 over 3. Let's double check. So p comes out to be 8 over 3. That is all good, all perfect. So that is the first thing, that's done. First part is done. So let me write part A over here. And now we are moving to part B, part 1. So now part B, part 1. Part B, part 1. It is now given that AC is perpendicular to BC. AC is perpendicular to BC. That means gradient of AC into gradient of BC should multiply to give us negative 1. And P is an integer, that means discard fractional value of P. So this thing refers to fraction. Find the value of P. This is for 4 mark. Have we calculated the gradient before? No, we calculated the distance before. So now we have A, which is 5 and negative 2. We have C, which is 2p comma p. We have B, which is 10 comma 3. We have C, which is 2p comma p. Now it's my habit to write down the coordinates exactly over there rather than searching all over the place. So let me just move it to this one and okay, let me just double check. It's all good, all clear. So now let me start the working. Gradient of AC, that is minus 2 minus p over 5 minus 2p. Gradient of BC, that is 3 minus p over 10 minus 2p. So minus common, 2 minus p divided by 5 minus 2p, multiplying with 3 minus p, 10 minus 2p is equals to negative 1. Now this negative cancels out with this negative, cross multiply, and it's this basic equation 2 minus p, 3 minus p, that is 6 minus 5p plus p square. This is equals to 5 into 10 is 50, 5 into 2 that's 10, and 20 negative 30p plus 4p square. So let me write a 0 over here. This is 3p square, negative 30 plus 5, negative 25p, and 50 minus 6, that is 44, equals to 0. So 3p square minus p minus 6, p plus 2, p minus 3, and 5p square minus 31p plus 44. 5p square minus 31p. Why is it 31? Let me just double check my working, because it's going on the other side. First of all, this is 5 and negative 2, 2p and p. So this is 5 and negative 2, 2p and p, minus 2 minus p. Minus taken, so this is positive. That's a mistake. Okay, so I took the minus out, but I forgot the negative sign, happens. So therefore, this is 2 into 3 is 6, 2 into negative p. I mean, I'll just simply write down the values. I'm not going to waste time on this. So we have two values, p is 4, p is 11 over 5. So solve quadratic. and most probably it's middle term factorization, and there is p and there is p. What are the different values of p? 11 over 5 and 4. So we have 11 over 5, we have 4, we reject this one, we accept this one. So that's the only value that we get. So this factorization and simplification, basic O-level stuff, just avoid the positive negative sign. I mean, I also made a mistake, I corrected it, and that's how you proceed. Now it says find the equation of a circle which passes through A, B, and C. Give your answer in this form where A, B, and C are constants. Now P is equals to 4, and let me just write down the values. If P is 4, therefore C is 8, 4. Therefore C is 8, 4. So let me write over here, C is 8, 4. So now we have A, which is 5 and negative 2. We have B, which is 10, 3. We have C, which is 8, 4. And we know that AC is perpendicular to BC. That means if AC is perpendicular to BC, what is the common alphabet? That is C. Therefore, angle C is 90 degrees, and AB is the diameter, and radius is half of AB magnitude, and center of circle should be the midpoint of A and B. All good, all clear? So now first of all, let me write A, 5 and negative 2. Let me write B, 10 and 3. Let me calculate the midpoint, 5 plus 10 divided by 2, minus 2 plus 3 divided by 2. That is 15 over 2, that is 1 over 2. I think I used this number somewhere else. That must be another question. We did so many questions, so it is someplace else, the exact same coordinates. And what about the magnitude of AB? That is 5 minus 10 whole square, minus 2 minus 3 whole square, square root. This is 25. This is also 25, square root. That comes out to be root 50. Radius is half of root 50. Also, let me evaluate radius square. That's half root 50 square. That is 1/4 of 50. That comes out to be 12 and a half. That is 25 over 2. That means the last thing, the equation of a circle, I need more space because I have to expand it. So therefore, equation of circle, that is x minus h whole square, y minus k whole square is equals to r square. So 15 and a half, not 15 and a half, 15 divided by 2, 7 and a half. So x minus 15 over 2 whole square, y minus k, this is y minus half whole square, is 25 over 2. And this is in this form. And then you expand it and simplify, you will get this answer, which is x squared plus y squared minus 15x minus y plus 44 equals to 0. So all you have to do is to expand it. And then this is, I'm just gonna write this stuff, x squared minus 2 into x into 15 over 2 plus 15 over 2 whole square. That is the first thing. And then this is y squared minus 2 into y into half plus half square, and this is 25 over 2, and then you simplify, get rid of the fractions, and then you will get the answer. And that's right over here, and I think that just finishes everything. So now lecture number 2 of circle equation, a lot of past paper questions. It's thoroughly done and dusted. Take care.